Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 11:30 on January 5th, 2022. Waiting a little later just to get some more model information in on the storm. Looks like winter weather advisories are up for New Jersey, and sure enough, just as I feared, we had very slippery conditions this morning, and there were a lot of accidents this morning, including a pileup on the Roslyn Viaduct as well. So very slippery conditions. The ground was cold. We had that rain, little freezing rain before temperatures rose above freezing. But anyway, you see those winter weather advisories stretching into New Jersey and winter storm warnings into the mountains there. What kind of lake effect snow warnings? So we have lake effect snow warnings for the lakes. Let's take a look at our current conditions right now. And you'll see here temperatures are around 40 degrees, 38 in Ronkonkoma. I'm in an Islip airport, which technically is in Ronkonkoma. Let's take a look and see what our current conditions are. And you will see here that we have temperatures are we're up in the upper 40s, mid to upper 40s. It was a little damp too earlier, but then it kind of dropped, and temperatures dropped, and we're now in dew points drop as the winds went a little more westerly. Let's take a look at these rainfall totals that we had across the area today. And this is the issue we had in the morning is we had temperatures at around the freezing mark when this light rain started, and that's what caused a lot of the accidents. The roads are very slippery with black ice, and that's why we had all those accidents. So let's take a look at the precipitation for today, and let's do from. I think we got a little more rain than I expected. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Not really that much. 0.15, 0.37. About a quarter of an inch of rain. But it was pretty steady. It was enough to get things wet. We had those just pesky showers. A little less in Jersey. But anyway, let's get to the models here. We've got the latest models now in. The 0Z runs. I wanted to wait so I could get all the 0Z model runs in for you. So let's go to the GFS. And let's get to the storm here. And we're going to be focusing on this, obviously. This is the GFS. First thing that we're going to look at here. Obviously, a lower resolution model. You can see not a really intense storm, but you can see it'll give us some snow, a period of snow. But that snow moves away pretty quickly. But it should be enough to give us our first, I think tomorrow we'll finally get our first accumulating snow of the season. And then after that, the cold air comes in. All right? Which we're just focusing on the storm in this weather update because we'll talk about the other stuff later. Let's go to the HRRR. That's the one I really want to see. The 0Z HRRR. So here we go. Tomorrow, obviously, a dry day. But here comes the light snow that'll start moving into the area probably after midnight tomorrow night. And then we should get a period of maybe moderate snow from probably like early morning Friday from like, let's say, 3 a.m. to around probably 10 a.m. So it'll be a period of light snow, light to occasionally moderate snow. There's the storm track with the HRRR there, and you can see it does intensify as it moves away. So I think the east end might see a little more snow than, say, Nassau County. Let's take a look and see what the total accumulated so it's actually giving us an inch of liquid equivalent. That's kind of interesting. 0.5 inch of liquid equivalent. Let's see what it does total snowfall. So the HRRR has decided to raise its snowfall totals to closer to 5 inches versus just an inch or two. So this is the HRRR, and again, we have this model disagreement. I looked at the NAM, and it was completely different. But this is the HRRR, obviously giving us. I don't think anyone's going to get over 6 inches, but the debate is: are we going to get a few inches, or are we going to get closer to 5 or 6 inches? That is the debate. But that is the HRRR, definitely with a more stronger system. All right. But if we look at the GFS, it's a little bit weaker. It's a little more like 3 or 4 inches on the GFS. But of course, it's a very low resolution model. Let's go to the NAM 12. You see the NAM's a little different. The NAM gives a little less. It gives more like an inch or two with maybe closer to 5 inches on the east end there. All right. So the NAM's a little different, and it's a little weaker. So if we look at the NAM, you will see it just waits for the storm to really get going. And it keeps that heavier batch of snow a little further away. However, it does bring it over the South Fork there. So you can see it kind of brings it over the South Fork, and then it moves away. But this is going to be an interesting system. It's our first significant snowfall of the season. I know it is going to be occurring on January the 7th, which is pretty late in the season to get our first, snowfall of over an inch, which I would call a decent snowfall, or I don't really count that dusting. I mean, it has to be over an inch for it to really be a significant, or what I would call the first snowfall of the season. But that is what we will be looking at. And it's looking likely that we will get our first snowfall of the season, finally. All right, so this is the NAM here. Let's go to another model here, ICON model. This is another model, obviously a little more similar to the European. You can see, and there'll be enough cold air that I think it'll be snow the whole way through. Let's see what the total snowfall of this is. So this is more like 2 or 3 inches. So figure generally between 3 and 5 inches. I think, depending on where you are, 3 or 5. Depending on where you are, of course, I think that 3 to 5 is more likely, and maybe a little further out east. I don't think an inch or 2 here. The HRRR definitely changed its tune a little bit, because we looked at let me go to the 0Z run and compare it, because the other well, actually no, this is the first HRRR run we've had with the storm in it. I don't think there was, for some reason, there was not an 18Z run today of the HRRR, but this is with the HRRR. So the HRRR is definitely toward the high end of things. All right, whereas GFS is like in the middle, and the NAM is like sort of like the lower of those totals. Let's now look at our temperatures here on the HRRR, because this will kind of explain what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. Temperatures do drop finally. We get some cooler air tomorrow. Highs in the mid to upper 30s. And then tomorrow night, we're going to have the cold air in place. Will be below freezing, with the storm keeping the cold air in place across our area, so temperatures stay pretty much in the upper 20s throughout this snow event. And we stay in the 20s all day for Friday behind this system. And then as we go, we'll use the GFS here, looking at the 0Z GFS, and you will see that colder air really work in. We drop into the teens. We are not getting out of the 20s on Saturday. It'll be nice and cold with the snow on the ground. That'll help also keep us colder. And then looking at Sunday, maybe a slight moderation, but it will be brief, because more cold air enters the picture by next week. As you know, we'll have another plunge of some pretty cold air coming in to the equation. Let's go look at now. Let's look at the dew points as well. This just shows you the airflow, and you'll see that southerly airflow becoming westerly, northwesterly, and then the drier air comes in, and then we have the cold air in place with that northwest flow right through Saturday. And then Sunday we might see a small moderation, but then more of the northwest wind comes back. So let's go to the RGEM model next. We'll actually first show the RGEM. We'll look at the storm on the RGEM here. Here's your storm on the RGEM. All right. Let's show what the RGEM is showing here. Total snowfall. So, yeah, it's generally that 1 to 3, possibly some isolated 4-inch amounts. It's still, we have a better idea on it, but I still can't pin it down as to how much snow we're going to get. Will it be a winter storm warning type of snow? I don't think it's going to meet that criteria, but a winter weather advisory, I think it will wind up meeting that criteria. And that's why we have that winter weather advisory in effect. This is a satellite. You can see some clearer air trying to work in after all the clouds today. We'll look at those skies for tomorrow, but you can see the winter weather advisory. I think that's going to be extended into our area, and I think this is going to be an advisory type of event. So let's go look at the skies. Let's see when we can get some clear skies. Obviously, tomorrow, hopefully we'll see the sun, but we're going to have to worry about that cirrus. You can see it pops that cirrus over us, and that may be an issue as far as getting a nice clear sky for tomorrow. We have to wait for the storm to pass. And then, behind the storm, Saturday, I think will be a nice sunny, cold day with some snow on the ground. That'll help keep it cold as well. And then more clouds move in on Sunday. I think there'll definitely be some snowfall. I think we'll finally get snow on the ground. But the question is just how much right now. That's what it's looking like right now. If we want to go any further, then we'd have to use a different model, which I really don't want to use. Let me go to windy.com. That'll be the last model we'll use for this storm. We're going to add the European model. So here we go with the European model. So tomorrow you can see those high clouds over us. And again, it's going to be upper level moisture that we're going to be dealing with. So if I go to humidity, I take this up to 250 HPA, which is where the cirrus is. Well, actually, it's pretty dry around one. That's now, it doesn't look that bad, actually. So maybe those clouds that are moving in are more of a mid-level type of cloud. Let me go to 350. Yeah, it's actually a little more of a mid-level cloud that we'll have to worry about. So maybe the sky won't look as junky, even though we'll have some clouds around. Maybe at least it won't. Hopefully, we won't have all those contrails that we're dealing with. We'll have to see how it turns out for tomorrow. But either way, storm moves in, and then we start getting into that light snow. This is the European model again, and let's look and see what its guess is as far as total snowfall goes. Let's see, new snow for. Let's see what it's got for us. So it gives us 3.4 inches. So this is sort of like what I think is going to happen. So, that 3 is going to be, I think, the magic number, I think, right now. That we're looking like around a 3-inch snowfall for our area. But we'll have to see. The models evolve. They go back and forth as to who. This is going to be a fast-moving storm, so that's why I don't think it's going to meet the winter storm warning criteria. But we'll finally get some snow on the ground, I think. Which is finally something we can see. Hopefully, people don't take their Christmas lights down yet, so we can enjoy looking at them with some snow, because that's what they're meant to be seen with. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thanks for watching.